Barrett got nominated over the weekend
Right.
for the replacement of Ruth Bader Ginsburg and let the warfare over that begin. But also tomorrow night will be the first debate between President Trump and Joe Biden. We'll talk a little bit about both of those tonight. I want to deal with the
Well, we've also got one more big thing tomorrow at 11 o'clock, which is General Flynn's hearing.
That's right.
Don't forget about that, folks. Everybody needs to be praying for the general and his family right now, because the hearing is tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And notice that they are not doing a in-person hearing. They're doing it by teleconference.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
What do you see in that?
I don't know. Either way, look, Sidney Powell has threatened that if they don't sign the order of dismissal, that she's going to take it straight to the Supreme Court. So it doesn't matter whether this judge releases it or the Supreme Court releases it. Either way, General Flynn he's going to be free. He will be a free man. He'll be free either way. I'm not worried about that. It's just a matter of what the family's been through, what he has been through, kind of dragging it out a little bit, and which is what they're trying to do. Notice Judge Sullivan back in July had signed something. He wanted to push this to pass the November 3rd election. Well, why is that? Because we know General Flynn's got truths. Prophetically, this is a prophetic event right here. This is a bigger story than most people realize right now. And what that order of dismissal represents is the fact that the enemy is holding the truth hostage.
Right.
Is what this is. It's holding General Flynn's freedom hostage, but it's also holding the truth hostage. Is what this is. The spirit of truth.
Right. Well, I totally believe that. I believe he's got the truth, Mark. Look, if anybody in Washington, D.C., Hillary Clinton claims she knew where the bodies were buried. Considering what General Flynn knows about this bunch, Hillary don't know a thing. And I understand why they're trying to keep him quiet. And yes, I understand why Sullivan's doing this. He's just
and we got to remember too, when the truth is released, guys, that's when justice is served.
Right.
The spirit of truth will lead to justice, which is what they don't want.
No, they don't want.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw this little time bomb out there. By the way, we just report the news here, but I just want to wish New Mexico former Governor Bill Richardson, who was nothing but a Trump hater, the best of luck tonight, because he just got accused of bribery and all sorts of ugliness. And it's amazing that all these Trump haters and he was one of the main ones out there impugning the president's character, impugning the president's past, insinuating he was cheating on his taxes, insinuating he was doing criminal activity with his business dealings, always trashing Trump, always out there, never a good word to say about the president. And the Democrats would hold Richardson up as a moderate. Well, even moderate Democrats, don't like Trump. Well, guess what, Mr. Richardson? We wish you the best in your upcoming indictment, because you're in trouble tonight. And Mark, it's just amazing to me, the double standard. When a Democrat has something like this happen, the only place you find it is on right-leaning websites, Breitbart, Gateway Pundit, the Epic Times, True Pundit reports on a little bit. But CNN, I hear crickets on that tonight. I hadn't heard a word about it from CNN. I've not even heard nothing about it on Fox News. It's amazing to me. But I tell you what, that's a big story to me, because, again, the more these Democrats that are basically exposed for what they're doing, and bribery, what do you say? Justice is always perverted because of the bribe. And who knows? New Mexico, that voting system down there. Now, Richardson wasn't a part of that. I think he was actually governor in 2016 when that happened. But anyway, may or not been. But either way, he was not a good governor to New Mexico. And I just find it, I'm not saying this in judgment, Mark. I'm not saying it throw stones. But it's a reap what you sow thing. You sow an accusation and you sow these things against the president, it's coming home to roost. And I think he serves as a warning. This is why I think this is important. Bill Richardson serves as a warning to other Democrats who are making a daily feast of doing the same thing against this president, against this country, against patriots, and against the MAGA community. They're not just impugning Trump. They insult us every day, calling us every name in the book. I would take a good hard look at what happened to Bill Richardson tonight if I'm a Dem, and say I might need to clean up around my own backyard and my own house before I start lobbing bombs against President Donald John Trump.
Well, we got some rhinos out there just as bad as these Democrats, brother.
That's right.
You know what I mean? We're going to be finding that out. Well, we all know who they are. But I mean, look, this is a big story because the simple fact is that there's accountability finally here. You know, how long have we heard people screaming, nothing's getting done? You know, why aren't we seeing the arrests? Why aren't we seeing indictments? You know what I mean? If you can't see what's being done right now, something is, you need to really pray about that. I'm serious, because I mean, you need to ask the Lord to open your eyes and ears, because the fact of the matter is thousands are going to jail. They're rounding people up. I just read another article today where they just rounded up, I don't know how many gang members.
Yes.
They're rounding up MS-13. They're rounding up pedophiles. All these guys are getting rounded up. And for people to sit there and say, well, I can't, nothing's happening, nobody's getting held accountable. It's because, no, you're wanting to see Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, Comey and these guys perp walked on national television. It's coming. We got to be patient, but we're increasingly stair-stepping or incrementally increasing the level as to who we're taking down at this point. So we just got to be patient, man. It's coming.
Well, yeah. And Mark, I'm going to give you a shout out here tonight. Look, you're my brother from another mother, and you know, I didn't really come on here intentionally ready to say this, but I feel led to say something tonight along those lines about people, you know, not seeing nothing happen. And, you know, you have prophesied that you believe the Lord told you that Trump's going to get 5 justices, 5 picks.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Amy Coney Barrett's 3. And Saturday night we were doing a special on her, and one of the people in the chat room pointed out that Clarence Thomas has stated that if Ruth Bader Ginsburg retires, it's likely he's going to retire too. And Stephen Breyer has been rumored to be stepping down too. Mark, I'm just simple South Georgia boy, but 3 + 2 = 5. And I remember that people lampooned you and laughed and mocked and did all this other stuff to make that word of the Lord seem like God didn't tell you that. Well, I tell you what, I would warn folks about that, because your prophecy's coming true. And when President Trump gets reelected, Mark, it's probably going to be more than 5. This whole court may be reshaped, brother. And that ain't even counting the stuff that's going to happen if Obama is perk-walped and he's proven to be a fraudulent president from 2008 to 2016. Then Sotomayor and Kagan's gone. I mean, President Trump could literally have a hand in reshaping the entire bench on the Supreme Court, Mark. That is huge. That's prophetic, though, my friend. You called it. You called it.
Well, I don't take any glory for it.
I know you don't take glory,
Jesus,
but you.
Here's the thing: if there was ever a time where I kind of hope I got the prophecy wrong, it was probably this one, because he could get more than 5 at this point.
That's
depending on how things shape up.
True.
And so this is one time I hope I got it wrong for the Supreme Court, because I'm telling you guys, the warfare has been on a level we haven't seen in a long time, because we're coming to the pinnacle of this fight, which is November 3rd. It's a prophetic timeline that we're going to cross with the election. But God's doing things on the earth right now. And so the enemy's not liking it. You're talking about Roe versus Wade being overturned. You're talking about getting rid of Baal's food source right now. Baal's a very violent entity. He feeds off the blood of the innocent. And these guys, this is what they sacrifice to, Moloch and Baal. So when you're talking about this, and look, I was going to go over one of the things that I had on the list here was the fact that, where is it, back on my Twitter feed here? I tweeted this out the other day, and this was literally, who was it? Joe Montana. Yeah, Joe Montana. And Joe Montana and his wife fight a grandchild away from an attempted kidnapper. And I tweeted out, I've been warning about this. The elite supply lines are drying up, and now they are resorting to grabbing kids and women in broad daylight. They are desperate. Keep your head on a swivel right now and your kids guarded at all times. Look, Chris, when Roe versus Wade it's going down. God's already said it's coming down. We just have to put the right people in place to bring it down, right? And we're seeing the supply lines. We're seeing the wall going up. We're seeing the child trafficking, human trafficking being exposed, people being arrested. They're taking their kids. They're taking the food source and we're rescuing the kids. They're resorting. It's happening right here in Florida. And they're literally resorting in broad daylight now to grabbing women and kids in broad daylight because they're desperate. This is how desperate they are to get their adrenochrome or to have their, their sex trafficking right now. So keep your head on a swivel and keep your kids close right now, folks. If you're letting your kids out there running around right now, this is not a time to be doing that right now until we get past this phase right now.